Did you know that Europe is practically built on a foundation of ghost stories? Like, literally, there are so many castles and ancient ruins with centuries of, let's just say, that you can't throw a rock without hitting a ghost story. And trust me, some of these stories are not for the faint of heart, like seriously spooky. Join me as I explore the scariest horror spots in Europe and see if I can handle the chills and thrills they have to offer. We're talking about places where the veil between our world and the next is so thin, you could practically reach out and touch it. Get ready, because things are about to get spooky. Okay, so picture this. You're walking the cobblestone streets of Edinburgh, Scotland. The air is thick with mist, the moon is high overhead, and you stumble upon a hidden entrance leading down, down, down into the Edinburgh vaults. These aren't your average basement storage units. No, honey, these vaults hold centuries of secrets. And some say the lingering presence of those who never escaped. Imagine the year 1788. Edinburgh is booming, but with growth comes a dark side. Poverty, disease, and crime are rampant, and the vaults become a refuge for society's outcasts. Families crammed into these dark, damp spaces, barely clinging to life. Can you imagine the despair, the fear, the desperation that seeped into the very stone of these vaults? As you walk through the narrow passageways, the air grows heavy, almost suffocating. You can practically feel the weight of history pressing down on you. The stories say that the energy of those who suffered and died in the vaults still lingers, trapped beneath the city. People have reported hearing whispers in the darkness, disembodied footsteps echoing through the empty chambers, and even feeling an icy touch on their skin. One of the most well-known residents of the vaults is a mischievous spirit known as Jack. He's said to be responsible for tripping visitors, tugging on their clothes, and even blowing in their ears. But Jack is just the tip of the iceberg. There are stories of a young girl who roams the vaults, searching for her lost doll, and a shadowy figure that lurks in the darkest corners, watching your every move. The Edinburgh vaults are not for the faint of heart, but if you're brave enough to venture into the darkness, be prepared to come face to face with the ghosts of Edinburgh's past. Buckle up, sisters, because this next location is not for the easily spooked. We're heading south of Mexico City to Isla de las Muñecas, the island of the dolls. Imagine an island covered in hundreds of decaying dolls. Their lifeless eyes stare out from the trees, their limbs twisted and broken. It's like something out of a horror movie. Don Julian Santana found a drowned girl and began hanging dolls to appease her spirit. He believed the dolls would protect the island from evil. Visitors report feeling watched, and some claim the dolls move. The island of the dolls is a place where childhood innocence collides with the macabre. Chapter 3. All right, babes, get ready to descend into the depths of darkness as we explore the Hellfire Caves of West Wickham, England. These man-made tunnels, stretching for over a mile underground, are shrouded in a history as dark and chilling as the caves themselves. Imagine this. The year is 1750, and a wealthy aristocrat, Sir Francis Dashwood, forms a secret society known as the Hellfire Club. They gather in these caves, indulging in all sorts of scandalous and, some say, satanic rituals. The caves themselves are a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers carved out of the chalk hills. As you venture deeper into the earth, the air grows thick and heavy, the only light coming from your flickering flashlight. The silence is deafening, broken only by the sound of your own heartbeat and the drip, drip, drip of water seeping through the rocks. Legend has it that the members of the Hellfire Club would dress in hooded robes and perform mock rituals, summoning demons and indulging in all sorts of debauchery. Some say they even sacrificed animals in the name of their dark patron. Whether these stories are true or simply the product of overactive imaginations, there's no denying the eerie atmosphere that permeates the caves. Over the years, there have been countless reports of paranormal activity within the Hellfire Caves. Visitors have claimed to hear disembodied voices whispering their names, feel icy hands brush against their skin, and even see shadowy figures lurking in the darkness. One of the most well-known stories is that of the Black Monk, a spectral figure said to haunt the caves, his presence bringing a sense of dread and despair. The Hellfire Caves are not for the faint of heart, but if you're brave enough to venture into the darkness, be prepared to confront the secrets and spirits that linger within these haunted tunnels. Chapter 4. Okay, let's get real for a second. Prisons are already creepy, right? The confinement, the isolation, the feeling of being watched. It's enough to send chills down anyone's spine. But imagine a prison that's been abandoned, left to decay and crumble, the memories of its former inmates still lingering within its walls. That's the chilling reality of the abandoned prisons scattered across Eastern Europe. These prisons, many of them dating back to the Soviet era, are like time capsules of suffering and despair. The cells are small and cramped, the walls bare and cold. You can practically feel the weight of the prisoners' despair, their hopes and dreams slowly fading away with each passing day. Many of these prisons were used to house political prisoners, people who dared to speak out against the regime. Torture and abuse were commonplace, and it's said that the spirits of those who died within these walls still haunt the corridors. Visitors to these abandoned prisons have reported hearing the clanging of cell doors, the muffled cries of prisoners, and even the chilling sound of footsteps approaching in the darkness. Some have claimed to see shadowy figures peering out from behind bars, their eyes filled with a mixture of anger and despair. The energy within these prisons is palpable, a heavy, oppressive feeling that settles over you like a shroud. One of the most notorious of these abandoned prisons is Patarei Sea Fortress in Estonia. This former military prison, located on a desolate island, was known for its brutal conditions and inhumane treatment of prisoners. Today, it stands as a chilling reminder of the horrors that took place within its walls. The abandoned prisons of Eastern Europe are not for the faint of heart. But if you're looking for a truly terrifying experience, one that will stay with you long after you've left, then these haunted remnants of a dark past are waiting to be explored. Chapter 5. Alright, my spooky sisters, let's hop across the pond for a hot minute and head to the American South, where we'll delve into the legend of the Bell Witch Cave in Adams, Tennessee. This ain't your average ghost story, honey. This is a tale of a malevolent entity so terrifying its ability to mimic voices, and its relentless torment of John Bell. Imagine being harassed, scratched, even physically assaulted by an unseen force. That was John Bell's reality. The Bell Witch would pinch him, pull his hair, and even poison his food. As the years went by, the Bell Witch's reign of terror only intensified. The entity would throw furniture, smash dishes, and even set fires. The family tried everything to get rid of the witch, from prayer to exorcisms, but nothing seemed to work. The Bell Witch was there to stay. Today, the Bell Witch Cave, where the entity is said to have resided, is a popular destination for paranormal investigators and thrill seekers alike. Visitors have reported hearing disembodied voices, feeling cold spots, and even being touched by unseen hands. Some say that the Bell Witch still lingers in the cave, waiting to torment anyone foolish enough to enter its domain. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the heart of horror, folks. If you've got a favorite horror spot in Europe, let me know in the comments below. And if I've missed any locations that you think deserve a mention, be sure to suggest them as well. Don't forget to subscribe for more thrilling content, and until next time, stay spooky.